webcam. There we go. Hello, 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 hello. Is everybody there? Okay, we're going to do a quality check. I've got cameras everywhere. I've got all sorts going on. I'm trying to get technologically there. Okay, just topping up your wine glass. Good. Didn't hear my phone. Have I missed anything? You haven't. Okay, we have just come on. Myra. Oh, that was Myra. Christine, hello. Hi, Abby. I've just popped in for the first time. And hello. Hello from Yolanda. Lovely to see you all. I feel like I'm in the dark. I've sort of set lighting up, but it's been so miserable, hasn't it? Over the last couple of days compared to how the weather's been. It's been fantastic. Right. So, technology. Mind blown. I don't get it. I've just had my son in, and he's just been here to help me set it all up. So he commented, "We are coming." He's just making sure we come on live, both with volume and with screen, because we were members only last week. So we've got Myra. Myra, you commented the other day, and I did have a word with this shop actually from where I got this, and I said, do you know what? I've got somebody who's really excited about the Britannia machine. It is well spotted. It's a Britannia. So if you were on Instagram earlier today, hello, and thank you for joining us. Who else have we got? Kate, hello. Kate, were you on Facebook earlier worried about your new necky overlocker? Because if it was you, then hopefully if you ask me the questions, I'll try and answer them now. Just been a bit busy doing something. Now, if you look up here, what I'm going to do is, I had a bit of a brainwave last week. It is you, Kate. Right, ask away and we'll see if we can help you. If we get time, I will get my necky out, my necky overlocker out, and we will see if we can overlock on fleece, because if I'm right, Kate, guys, has been struggling to overlock on fleece, and this was one of the round projects I did just to show you how to overlock around a circle. And I have had a number of people saying, well, it's because you've got a special machine and you've chosen a specific size circle. No, all you need to do is, when you're overlocking, is just make sure when you're doing any shape, any single shape, just skim, barely skim off the edge. Just cut off the edge barely, and you will maintain that shape. Don't stretch, don't pull, don't tug on it, don't distort it, because if you distort it, it will come out distorted. So I know some people say stretch your fabric as you sew. Well, if you stretch it as you sew, as you serge, as you overlock, you are going to get problems. So Kate, we can help fix that. We've got H. Brackelman's. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but that's you there. And Mad P, hello. And you're another necky user, if I remember rightly, reading so many comments. And I'm going to say thank you to everybody. You are amazing community. You all interact, you communicate, you comment, you like, you subscribe. And in the last week, I'm going to say this, I mean, we just feel, we just impressed and amazed. Normally, I would expect, 600, 700 new subscribers in a month. And in just this week alone, we've had 1,000 new subscribers. Mind blown, honestly. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support, because if you give us that support, what it means is we become a more credible YouTube channel, in which we can get machines from companies and say, do you know what, give us a machine. Give us a machine, because Abby's too stingy too poor to because I'm not a big YouTuber. You've got millions of subscribers on some channels. And so once we start building up, we can get, we can get a knock-on effect and start getting some impressive machines in here to help you, the consumer, like me, to get the right machine that's right for us. There are so many on the market, aren't there? So many different ones on the market. It's difficult to know what features to look for, and what's right for me, what's right for you. and what features are essential to you, and is it going to be future proof? Is it a machine that's going to help you fulfill your future dreams and take you on the journey of becoming that professional sewer that you want to? I don't say sewists. I'm going to apologise to people who use the word sewists. We are sewers as far as I'm concerned. That's me on my soapbox again. So let's have a look. So if you were on Instagram earlier today, I teased you with a box with my packages that arrived today. Yeah, just in time. And this was something that we only planned a couple of evenings ago. So they were posted out yesterday and arrived lunchtime today. So barely gave me a chance to open the boxes, to learn about them, and to learn about them so that I'm ready to talk to you about them, but I brought them out anyway. So I've still got one box. Let me see if you can see. Let me just flip that over. There it is. It's still in its box. It's still in its box. I'm going to mess about with the camera now. I'm going to get told off by the boss for messing about with the camera. Sorry. Let's have a look. We've got PJ Kopech. Hello from Atlanta, Georgia. Wow, your first live with you. I have a question. If you can explain the difference between a serger and a cover stitch. We'll get to that. I'm from Vienna in Austria. We've got Silka. My camera's going all over the place, isn't it? Let's see if I can get that right. I am in trouble already. I know. Right, let's see if we've got that. Can I go back to this thing up here? This thing. So what we're doing is we are looking at buying our own machines here. We don't want to have the influence from companies telling us to sign an agreement. I'm not going to say who, but I've been told by a company if I borrow one of their machines, I have to sign an agreement to say I love their machines. I am not allowed to say anything negative about their machines. I'm not allowed to review it badly. I have to only be love, love, love. That's no good to you. It's no good to me. If we're going to review a machine, I'm going to hammer it. I'm going to hammer it to death so that you will know whether it's good enough for you. Because, you know, it's no good saying that this, you know, company saying to us, this machine's going to last you 10 years. We'll give you a 3-year warranty. Did I get it right? It's okay. It's going to give you a 3-year warranty, and you know what? 3 years in, and it's bust doing a bit of denim, it's bust doing a bit of silk or chiffon, it can't cope. We don't want machines like that. So we are here. I say we, me and my little groupies who help me set all this up. My beautiful people who help me set this up. So the idea is that we are impartial, we're honest, we maintain our integrity. And for those of you, there's a few of you who are new to this channel. I am both a qualified engineer, so I did my degree in engineering. I've done all sorts of mechanical stuff. I fix sewing machines for a charity for years, Tools for Self-Reliance, where we've sent hundreds of machines to Africa, to different parts of Africa, to help, you know, what's the word, to help empower women, mostly men as well, but women with the sewing machines. So I've lots of experience with fixing machines, both as a qualified engineer and as a mechanic, sort of a hobbyist mechanic, to now a professional mechanic, where I fix machines for people for a sort of living. Don't make it a big thing. I also have worked or volunteered in a heritage property. So I work with old machines, I worked with costumers, I've worked with other dressmakers, I've taught hundreds of children, I've taught hundreds of adults. I have a lot of experience with machines inside and out, literally inside and out. And that was what I keep trying to tell you about. So if you make a donation, thank you so much, Transplanted One, thank you so much. What happens is, if you make a donation to the channel, I'm going to put that money, so that money that I've trying to raise is going to go towards an air threader, but it's not going to be my air threader. It's going to be an air threader that I'm going to use, and I'm going to get you guys to help me choose which one. Once we've raised that money, we're going to choose which one I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy that one and review it and hammer it to death, and then I'm going to put it back into the system, and we can. If again you're new to the channel, you won't know this, but we have done giveaways during the Advent, coming up towards Christmas, and we give so much stuff away, don't we? We've got Eileen Hollins here. Hi Eileen. We've got Ricky. Yes, Myra, that does happen. Yes, it does. You know, companies do insist that I am kind and dishonest, I would say, because it is dishonest, isn't it, about their machines. Hi Ricky, I am doing well, well enough to start doing this again. So Ricky, I hope you're well as well. Silka, I'm very surprised that machine behind you, white and pink, does look exactly like my W6N3300 exclusive that I've had for many years. Sold it to a friend after having upgraded to an even better one. Okay, a better Mac. Oh, machine, I'm guessing that's what you're saying. And we've got Ali B. Hi from Taunton. It's great, Taunton. You guys are amazing. It's lovely to see you. Keep chatting. So this money that I'm going to raise, it should move. I don't know why it didn't. And that pot should fill up. And what will happen is as that fills up, that means what will happen is we are going to be able to fund machines, and that machine will then be chosen by you, the viewers. And once we've chosen it, we've played with it, we've hammered it, we've reviewed it, I've talked to you about it, I'm going to put it back into the pot, and then we're going to have lots of fun over Christmas, and it's going to be in the giveaway. So it's not going to be mine forever, because I certainly don't need to have too many machines here, because my family are going to disown me if I start taking the whole house over. So we've got supporting the channel by becoming members. Thank you guys. Myra Little, welcome as a member. Now the other thing about becoming a member, so it will show up on there. The other thing about becoming a member, it's very dingy in it. I'm sure I've got the lighting all wrong. There is a better way of doing lighting. I wonder if I switch that off, would it make it any better? I don't know. I think it's supposed to be that way, the lighting. We've got Ruth from Edinburgh. Hi, welcome to the channel, to the live. Do you know, this is a problem with talking too much. I start losing my thread. Excuse the pun. Okay, what have we got going on today? So today I've opened one of the parcels, and it's the Britannia T65. So it's the Britannia T65. Now I'll just tell you a little bit about the company. So I've not used a Britannia machine at all. I don't know if any of you have. Have any of you used a Britannia machine? If you have, just comment and let me know what you think about it, because I am new to that brand. Now, I'll tell you why I don't really know much about them. And the reason is they've only been around since 2012. So that's 10 years. They're babies to the machine, aren't they? To the machine industry. So 10 years, we're looking at Pfaff and Viking and Singer, who have been around since, the mid-1800s. And they set up their conglomerate. So you've heard of SBP, which sort of not disbanded, but they were sold to an American company mid this century, whenever. But they've been around donkey's years, so since the mid-1800s. Then you've got, the other companies like Bernina, you've got Janome. Brother are fairly new because they bought out the Jones machine in the 60s. So even though the brother company are old, there's only a small percentage of their company which is dedicated to sewing, but they've been still fairly new, which is yeah, anyway. So, yes, Ricky, you're right. So the other thing about Britannia is they sell a lot on the TV. I don't watch, is it Hochanda? Hochanda, see, that's how I don't watch it. Hochanda is a TV channel, correct me if I'm wrong. Is the lighting okay for chatting? I don't like it too bright. As some of these channels, they're really, really bright, and I don't like it too bright. I like the aesthetic, but I don't think I've got the aesthetic right. It's okay. It's okay. With and they're on Create and Craft, so you can look up their machines on Create and Craft, just like Ricky said. Oh, Myra, your writing's gone green. Watch many demos on the Britannia on Create and Craft. Was Hochanda. Did I pronounce it right? Hochanda. So there are new boys. They're new boys to the sewing industry. So 10 years in. In 2017, I believe, they made the T65. Oh, maybe it was 2017. The T65 became the T65. It was the 65 before that. It became the T65 because they included the automatic tension. Now you'll know, yeah, the automatic tension and the thread cutter. So the two T's, thread cutting, and you'll see the scissors. Should we flip you over so you can see? So we've got the thread cutter there, and so there's a sort of a cutter that's inside there, that sits inside there. And you've got the automatic tension, which you can sort of override if you don't want to use that tension, because occasionally when you're doing shearing, for example, it might not be perfect, or if you're doing I don't know, there might be a project that you're working on that the automatic tension might not be quite right. The other thing about these machines is being new on the market, they've got the advantage, or is it an advantage? The machine feels, now which is going to be a lie, I've not run it, but it feels so solid. It comes in at around 9 kilos. So some of you might think, I'm not going to take this to class, but it feels like a nice solid weight. Do you know what Hochanda stands for? I don't. Ricky, as long as it's not rude, let me know. We've got Kenneth. Hello, Kenneth. I'm losing my thread again. So, yeah, Britannia T65. I'm rubbish at this. I need to remember what I'm talking about. So it's a solid machine. It's a good weight. It's not going to be something that you might take to class, but it's affordable. So you could take it to class if you don't mind the weight and you have the trolley. I think, let me see, I wrote some notes so I wouldn't forget. It's how much is it? I have the T65. It's at 579. So 579 for a mid-range machine. It's sort of your average price. Now, some of you will have noticed recently there's been a massive price hike, which is, again, horrendous, because only the other week I was complaining about the price hike during the COVID demand, and I think with petrol prices going up and just general, the economy is such a mess. Sewing machine prices are on the up, and for me to want to now review expensive machines, somebody said to me when I spoke to the Juki guy, he said to me, my machine, my overlocker, which I featured on the last video, making the rolled hem, that rolled hem was gorgeous. Did you watch it? If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. It is the most simple method. I watched some rolled hem videos and I just get blown away with how complicated it seems, and that's why people struggle to do a rolled hem. It's a 6-step process to getting the perfect rolled hem, and I used a bulky thread in there. You can do that. All of you can do that, whichever machine you've got. It doesn't matter which overlocker you've got. do that rolled hem. So go back and watch that. You'll love it. You'll be so proud of yourselves. You really will. You'll be proud of yourselves, and so you should be. But the juking machine that I had, I think I spent about £500 on it. I don't know if it was a deal in the local shop, but apparently it's £750. I said to them, there's no way. I'm so stingy when it comes to spending cash, you know, especially with machines, because I want to make sure it's a good buy. I can't believe I would have spent, I'm sure I spent about £500, and that was during COVID. So that was 2020. We're at 2022 and it's £250 more. We are looking at a 50% price hike. Generally speaking, hey, now Mr. G. Franklin, is that George? I think it's George. Hello. We've got Will. Will, I did not know you were in Australia. I thought you were a local lad. Hello. Not long time no see. It's okay, like the motor and so on. And they said it has a surprisingly high quality parts inside, as your Britannia is so much alike. I guess that might not be the case. That might be the case. Home of crafts, hobbies and arts. Oh, that's her channel there, home of crafts, hobbies and arts. Makes sense. Yeah, so I need to give it a go. I've not had a play with it. I was told by the shop to watch videos on it, and I am such a defiant person. I didn't, but I'm going to play with it live, and if it goes bust, we can sort it out. We're a good team. You can all tell me what to do. Yes, the overlocker prices, the sewing machine prices, they are astronomical. So this machine's coming in, let me check my notes again. This machine's coming in at £579. That is a really good deal for what it is. And I'm going to blow your mind. My mind was blown. I'll keep doing this today because I'm just so thrilled, so excited with what's going on at the moment. My channel, I don't know what's going on, but it seems to be exploding right now. It just seems to be doing really, really well. And it's just thanks to you guys. So keep supporting the channel. Just keep watching, keep commenting. Please just keep commenting, keep liking, keep subscribing. Just share the love, and let's help everybody, because the more we can spread this, the more people we can help. So that's coming in at £579. The basic model is £469, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind on it. The difference between the basic model and this one is you've got the trimmer and the auto tension. You've got 16 stitches on the basic model. And you can control the width and the length a bit more on this one, which is, it goes up to 7 millimeters wide and 5 millimeters long on the stitches, which is really good. So you've got an incredible amount of differences, you know, to fill the different needs. Apparently, because of the auto tension, I can go from chiffon to straight onto, without changing needle, without skipping a beat. It can go straight from chiffon to 8 layers of denim, and that's really good. I'm going to test it in a minute. I've got my chiffon and denim ready, sitting over there, ready to go. We've talked about how heavy it is. Now, the other thing about it is, even though the design's 5 years old and Silka has realised that it looks as very, very similar to something that she's had in the past, it sounds like it's going to be an awesome machine. I'm excited. Ricky, I do have a lot of machines. I don't know why. I don't know what. We need to give some of these away. Let's build up this channel. Let's give some of them away, and then we can get some more in here. What else? Let's flip this open. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change that camera over. That's not the way to do it. It's this way. Right. So, if any of you become a member, your name's going to come up screaming on the screen. So do that. Okay. So I've opened up the screen, and on there you can see. I don't know if I can zoom in. Let's move that, and I'm going to pull this forward so you might be able to see it better. do comment if you can't see something. Just comment, because it's multitasking and I'm not necessarily the best at it. I've noticed a couple of things on this machine that I am just love. Okay, so the utility stitches, you've got a full range of them. You've got the lightning bolt and the triple step, which are going to help you with stretch stitches. I like number 13, if any of you, oh, do you like my nails? I get so distracted. I like number 13 for knit stitches, so jersey. If I was going to sew stretch fabric, I would do it on there. Then give you one thumb up. Oh, so good. Oh, thank you. So these utility stitches are really good. So you've got your blind hem. Now, the difference between that one and there isn't this blind hem. So we've got number 6 and number 7. I'm just going to go through them because I've been told by my son, if you don't explain what the stitches are, no one's ever going to know. So let's just go through all the stitches. We've got the stitch here. The oval tells us where the needle is sitting against that. See the oval on the needle plate? That tells you where the needle is going in. So it goes in on the left of the needle. This number 1, the needle sits in the middle. Then we've got the triple stitch. This is, as far as I'm concerned, I prefer to use that to strength on, say, a tent on canvas. If I've made the gazebo cover, if I was going to make a tent, a hard-wearing jacket, heavy jacket, maybe something that's got a lot of stress on it, I would use that. People like to use it for stretch. I don't. I particularly, I prefer not to. If it works for you, carry on. But I used to use number 3 for the lightning bolt for stretch. The reason I don't like it so much is now that sound is telling me, Yolanda, you've become a member. Thank you so much, Yolanda. 13 is a knit stitch. So I think, to me, number 3 and number 5, which a lot of people do recommend for stretch, I will prefer to use 13. But again, that's up to you. Have a play with your fabric and decide what's best for you. Number 6 and number 7, if you've ever done a blind hem, I've shown you how to do blind hem on the channel. I'm going to run through, like I'm doing with the overlocker, I'm going to run through a few stitches and feet for sewing machine as well. We'll do that. We've got the triple zigzag. That's a triple step zigzag, or a tricot it's known as, because there's 1, 2, 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3 stitches, and it sort of helps with the stretch a little bit. That's another strong stitch as far as I'm concerned. Now these are utility stitches. These are great for overlocking. So they're really overcasting stitches. It's not an overlock, because with an overlocker you've got a loop going at the top, a loop going on the bottom, and it's locked in by the needles. But these are just sort of going over. The needle goes over and it gets caught by the bobbin. So these are sort of overcast stitches. Then we've got the knit stitch, number 13. Now you see, I need to get the book for this, because when it comes to 14 and 15, I would again use them as just sort of edge stitching. You know, the blanket stitch, that's it, the blanket stitch, that's what I would use that for. But somebody was telling me they use it for something else, which I wasn't entirely convinced by, but I would use that as a blanket stitch. You know, when you do a plique, when you do a design on top of another, again, we've done that in the past. Buttonhole stitches, for the round ones you would use on you know, sheer fabrics like organza, but this one I would use on stretch fabric. So if you've got jersey, go with that. And again, you've got your darning, you've got an eyelet, and then we've got all our decorative stitches here, haven't we? Really pretty ones. a butterfly, apple and a tulip. Then you've got your candlewick. Now this one's grossly underused as far as I'm concerned. If you get a wide wing tip needle, you can use number 43 on there. And then it'll make the hole. So embroidery anglais fabric, you can use that. We should demonstrate this. I should demonstrate this. And they show you here the different lengths and the width, so it varies from this. I don't know if that's true to numbers. Should we see? Is that 5mm? Oh, it is. So it's 5mm, and that's going to be how wide your zigzag goes. And your tension is automatic, so I think it's showing you the top tension all the way. You can have the whole of the top tension nice and tight all the way to the bottom, and it will automatically set that for you for whatever work you do. What impressed me here was this. Now, a lot of people on some machines, when they're winding the bobbin, the thread gets caught underneath. So I've got to play with this. It looks like this is going to be good fun, and it's going to prevent me getting thread trapped underneath. I've just seen what some of you said. Let's just go back to some comments because I've just caught something. Ricky, I've watched you too. You've got lots of machines. Too many machines. Eileen, I just can't get the setting correct for rolled hem on my Jaguar, so got my old Janome and I had it on the R set. It's much better and I'm getting there. Do you know, if you use the, not the floss, I don't want to call it floss thread. Let me see. Let me see if I've got some here. I use it I use the floss thread, so it's that woolly nylon, that's what it's called. So the woolly nylon that I used in the rolled hem, that covers up a lot of the gaps. So it looks like the rolled hem is a lot better. So if you put that in your upper looper, so as it fills in, it spreads itself. Some people have mistaken the woolly nylon as stretch thread. It's not stretch. It doesn't stretch. You don't really need a stretch thread in your overlocker when you're doing stretch fabrics. If you get the settings right, you've seen in other videos I've done, you can have a look through the videos, you can get a nice stretch on your stretch fabrics. I've sewn lots of garments, stretch fabrics on the overlocker. Never used a stretch thread. You don't need to. It's quite an expensive thing. You don't want to use. Are we filling in the expectations so far? Am I is everybody with me? Are you all happy and comfortable with what we're talking about? You're very quiet, you see. You can comment, chat with me, talk to me. What else have we got? It's a pity we only give you one thumb. Oh, that's so kind. Kenneth says, I mean, you can go around and do a like on all my other videos if you want to. Kenneth said, just a thing that has nothing to do with this broadcasting. Where in the UK do you live? Well, I'm in Manchester. I'm in South Manchester. I'm not going to give you the exact details. You know, I'll have everybody at the door. No one. And you probably won't come to the door. But yes, I'm not far from the centre of Manchester. It's not too far. And we've got Mr. G. Franklin, your machine is in good hands. Well, he thinks it's his machine. It's my machine. He's like, it's my machine. Yeah. Oh, good. You're all happy. Good. Christine's happy. Everyone's happy. Good. All right, so this machine, it's looking good. It's so I do love that, because that's frustrating, isn't it? Has that ever happened to you where you've got thread caught in the bobbin and you're tediously pulling it all out, and that's really frustrating. I'm not going to say which brand. It does happen notoriously a lot more on a specific brand, and I've unpicked it for lots of people, which or helped people to unpick it. So I'm hoping that's what that's for, that feature. You can't see it because it's the phone is in the way, so that I'm hoping that's what that's for. If Mr. G is there and you are who I think you are, then you can tell me, you can correct me and tell me what it's exactly there for. We've got a speed control. Isn't that amazing? You need that if you're not a crazy person and you want it nice and steady. That's something I didn't check. I've got the manual. I can check what speed it goes to. Typically, sewing machines go up to about 800 stitches a minute. So that's a standard sort of speed. But when you're doing something fiddly, like going around a circle, you don't want to be going too fast. So being able to control that is good. But it also means if you're teaching somebody, you know, like a child, then, you know, you want a reliable machine. I'm not an advocate of these toy machines, these plastic mini machines. I cringe every time any parent brings their child with one of those, because I just think it's going to fail. They're not really designed for children, because children pull at their fabric and they fight with it, and they don't understand that, you know, they could cause damage to their machine, and just one tug it destroys the timing. And because it's all plastic and rubbish plastic, it's hard to fix, and in fact sometimes impossible to fix, and you need to replace the whole part. So I'm a big believer on, if you're going to teach a child to sew, get them on the full size. This is a really good price, as long as it does what it's meant to do. But I can't find where it says the speed on it. Okay, Kenneth. Kenneth is on Gold Hawk Road. So, okay. Maybe I shouldn't broadcast it. I can't find the speed on there. I'm sure it's going to go fast enough for me. I'm going to thread it up, but let's switch it on. We've got your average pedal. It looks like your standard sort of pedal. It's got a couple of grips on there, so it's not going to slip. Oh, actually, that is good. It's not a break machine, but before I started using it, that's a good grip. It's moving my head too. Oh, and another feature. Look at that. It's got a hard cover with a pocket. There we go. And my manual. Where's my manual? It's there somewhere. Oh, right. There we go. With a nice handle on the back, and inside typically it's got your polystyrene to protect the machine. So is that felt? It is felt. I feel that it looks like polystyrene, but it's felt. So you've got the easy threading up mechanism in there. You've got your knife cutter. We've got your needle up, needle down. Not sure what that tortoise is. Maybe that tortoise is to slow it down, but we're going to read the manual. Well, we're not going to read the manual. Not yet, not while I'm on here. And we've got the reverse button, and we've got the play button. I call it the play button, it's the on and off button. So we press the foot down, it's ready to go, and it will stitch. Now, I've already made a comment about how boring this area looks. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it looks boring, because the thing about it, if it's a powerful machine, it's going to be amazing. Should we have a look at what's in there? It's got that typical easy to thread mechanism that all bobbin, like a lot of machines have. I don't think it does box feed. No, it's not a box feed. It's your typical good running machine. We'll play with it in a minute. And bobbins that I've been told that across the board with Britannia, you know, like other brands, they do different size bobbins, and which size bobbin do I buy? And I did have a brother before. I've stuck with the brother, but the bobbins, you know, you're not understanding why the machine's not working. It's because probably the bobbin size has changed. That's frustrating. You want to make sure that, you know, when you know, everything should be transferable. And I'm going to show you something really impressive in a minute. Really it just blows my mind. It blew my mind. I'm really impressed. If it's true, it's blowing my mind. But these buttons, so it's LCD screen. It's a very old type of screen, nothing special about it. But if you want to change the stitches, you've got to go up one at a time, which can be a bit frustrating. So if you want to go to 42, let's see, what's 42? 42 is the leaves, dropping leaves. I've got to go up slowly like that. I can change the pattern by pressing that. I can press change the length on there. I'm guessing it stays at 2.6 because that's the maximum the design will do. And can I change the width? The width is at its maximum of 7mm. I can make it smaller. I wouldn't want to make it smaller. It's best just to leave it at the size. It's default, how I play with it, and then change it from there, depending on the fabric you're using. And then you can override the tension. So whatever you put in there, if you want to change that, you might want to. You probably wouldn't want to. You probably want to leave it as it is. And I suggest you do that. And then you've got your lock stitch, which sort of just locks the stitches in the same place. So we'll see that in action in a minute. I guess these are your standard stitches, and that's why they're hotkeys. I'm going to call them hotkeys. I don't know what the company calls them. I'm going to call them the hotkeys. It's like a speed dial, isn't it? We go straight to that design. Do you know what would have been really good? And again, it's a cost thing, isn't it? They've kept the cost at a good price for a good machine. It would be good to have a couple of memory ones that I can choose. Again, one of those features is going to throw the cost right out the window. What else have we got? Here we have, we're going to move back here again. Can you see this? I don't know if I should be bringing this in a little bit closer. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. Excuse my fingers. I'm going to put you on the desktop camera if I don't just mess it up. She says she's messed it up. You can hear me though. There we go. We're back. All right. I think that's the closest I can go. I can bring the machine closer. Right. So here we have the needle threader. And originally, at first impression, I thought, are you kidding me? I'm spending £579 on a machine with your typical needle threader. But this is the impressive part. Now, if you've got fat finger syndrome like me, you know, where your fingers are everywhere, or if you genuinely got, you know, arthritis, or you really struggle with eyesight, seeing the needle eye, this feature, look at this, you can do this so easily. I can press that down, it locks into position. That blew my mind. This isn't the bit that's going to blow your mind, but it blew my mind anyway. That bit blew my mind because how many times is you know, has it happened where you are struggling to get this blasted thing, I'm sorry for swearing, I've got this blasted thing to just sit there while you know, it's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time. You're pulling that down and you're trying to thread that needle and you can't do it, and you need it to be done in a systematic way in a process. So it clicks like that. Click it in, click it off. How wonderful is that? And that is going to be a life-changing device for so many of you. I feel like I'm doing a promo for this machine, and I am sort of, aren't I? I'm doing a promo for this machine, but it's an honest review. But I thought it looked, at first impression, I did say, oh, that's pants, that, why on earth have they put that on there? But look at that. And the thing about it is, if I put that needle in the wrong position and press it, it won't happen. The click won't happen. And you can tell, okay, a closer height. It won't happen. No, that's a good height. It worked. So it won't work. And the reason and the reason for it not working is to protect that guide. Let's see, let's get that back into position using the buttons. If because the other thing about that part, this whole mechanism, you know, the needle threader part, a lot of people have to replace that because they've damaged it, and you cause damage to it by using too small a needle. You need to make sure you use a size 75, and that's across the board for every needle threader, whichever needle threader you've got. If you've got it on the, you know, those really swanky one button pressing ones on the brother, to you know, the most basic simplified ones, you should use a needle size 75 and up. If you use it with the eye, becomes too small for that tiny hook to get into, you can damage the hook, which means you'll probably have to replace that part. But the other thing about this is it clicks into place, and that's going to be it's just incredible. A simple, I mean, that's all it is. It just clicks like a pen. It just clicks into position. It's a simple design, but again, it's innovation for you. It's moving things forward instead of staying stagnant. But it's, you know, I want to kick myself because I'm saying this is a new machine, and it's not. It's been out. Where are you? You there? I'm saying this is a new machine, and it's not. It's been around for 5 years. I'm thinking, why haven't you guys pointed it out to me before? Why haven't I seen it? And why aren't there more of you using this machine? Anyway, that's just me. So I want to play with this machine. Right, let's sew with it. I'm not planning on what time I'm leaving. Have any of you got to go anywhere? No, you're staying in, aren't you? Someone got their glass of wine out. Let's see, Kenneth is always in London. Silka, I'm curious, when you turn the machine to see the bottom, is there a screw about under the stitching areas to the front of the machine? Is that a secret fine-tuning for your decorative stitches? Okay, do you mean here, Silka? There. Because the other feature about this machine, let's see, can you see it there? Let's go. You know, it's all technology here. It's impressive, isn't it? It's impressive technology. Do you mean this button here, Silka? Because this is the drop feed. So, again, I need to be a bit closer, really. Let me do it manually. So,
that may be beyond my abilities at the moment.
Yeah, that's what happens when you buy too many gadgets. Right. So, you can see the feed dogs are up there. And they look really good. They feel really grippy to me. I like that. Okay, if I slide this button across, can you see how they fell in? They sort of dropped down. So the feed dogs drop. And then you can release them again by turning the hand wheel. Let's see, let me get them up to the highest button. You can do that with the needle. Put the needle back up so it brings the feed dogs right up. So you can see they stand out quite a good distance above the needle plate, which is really good. What that tells me already, just through experience more than anything, is that it's going to hold on to my fabric really well. So when I put denim in there, some fake leather in there, which I will do, it's going to hold it, and it's going to guide it, and it's going to support it. It's whether they are powerful enough. I've been told it is powerful. So I'm going to slide this button across. The feed dogs have gone down, and then what will happen is I will change this foot. So I'll take the foot off at the ankle, and then I will be able to put an embroidery foot in there. I don't have an extension table. I don't know why. One's on its way now. But I will put the extension table on there, and I will have free motion embroidery. 7.5 millimeters, it's a very fine needle size anyways. It is. 75 is a sort of embroidery. So I want to put this back because I don't like, I feel like I make you dizzy if I hold it. And you don't want to be dizzy. Is that all gone skewy? and you don't want to be dizzy. So I'm doing something a bit funny there. So I've got my embroidery threads. Now I've done a video, I did a video part on embroidery threads, and on those embroidery threads I think I did about 7 or 8 different brands, or maybe even 5 or 6, I can't remember now because it was a couple of years ago. And New Bro Thread came up a top winner for me, and I've used it on Janoma machines and Brother machines because they're the only 2 brands of embroidery machines I've really used. So what I'm going to show you there, so 75 needle is good and fine for embroidery. So if you're doing free motion embroidery, you can get these embroidery threads, and they've got a lovely sheen to them, and they're a good buy actually. I'll tell you what, I'll put a link for these threads as well because I love them. I do love them. I've rated them highly, and you want a good buy, don't you? Let's see what else we've got. So it's on the bottom right, in the metal bottom plate. In the metal bottom plate, I'm not sure what you mean, Silka. I'm not sure what you mean in the metal bottom plate. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Okay, what I'm going to do is we've got a side cutter there as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to crack on and just thread up this machine, shall I? Because I haven't done that. And because none of you were in a rush, we're just gonna go with it. I'm not in a rush. I'm never in a rush. Let's just thread it up. It's a standard machine, like every other machine. Other than the, you know, the internals is where we're at. That's what we want to know, how powerful it is. So yeah. So I've got some a cotton here, jeans fabric. Let's see how we want to do this one. So we're going to go round. Is that right? Okay. I'm going to twist that. I'm going to stand up now. So twist that round. That's right. Go all the way around. Can be quite fiddly. Just make sure I get it in there. Little knob at the back. I'm going to do a video on threading this machine just for any of you who have bought it, because when I was doing research on it, actually I can't find many videos, but if there aren't many videos on it, it's difficult for you to review, which is possibly why there aren't many videos on it. Let's see. So I'm just going to assume I just click it over. What does it say? Oh no, you don't bring it through the hole. You don't need to bring it through the hole, Abby. You just wind it round a few times. Wind it round a few times and cut it on there. And there. And while we're doing this, you're more than welcome to become a member and subscribe just to hit the bell. What have we got? Right, I'm going to stop there. So we stop there. Well, I want to see if it automatically stops, how it automatically stops. So I'm going to let it run. How is everybody this evening? What are you all up to? What have you been doing during the summer? Has it been during the heat wave? Have you managed to keep cool? Let me know. Christine, you've bought the set of 12 variegated bro threads. They are so lovely, aren't they? I've really enjoyed using mine. Let's pull that across so it just nicely stopped. Shouting at you all. I'm going to get some scissors. Let me get my scissors. I left my scissors on the table behind at the back. Take this off. Nicely done. I'm going to choose a different colour for the top. I'm going to have green on the bottom. And I don't know if that's just being obnoxious, but sometimes it helps. I like to do that, just probably just to be obnoxious, just to see the difference with the quality of the thread. Now, why are you not working? Let's see. There we go. Okay. Let's pop that back on. Oh, do you know what I haven't shown you? I haven't shown you the accessories we've got with the machine, because that's not the right size. Well, I suppose it is really for the end. Should we have a look at the accessories? We'll do that for a minute. Now let's look. So in here we've got our accessories box. Ooh. We've got a standard buttonhole foot. Looks a little bit fancier than your typical buttonhole foot. It's got a metal support on the side, which we like. It's not too plasticky. And you've got your cording hooks there, which is great, and some your hairline mark so that you can cross. And because it's see-through, you'll be able to see that hairline mark much better on your fabric. We've got our screwdriver, so we can remove the ankle should we need to. Some spare bobbins. Let's have a look. We've got 3 extra bobbins in there. We've got our monogramming foot, in applique foot, and that's so that when you do the blanket stitch that I showed you earlier, you'll be able to see your fabric and your stitch, so you can make sure you're stitching along the edge of your fabric as you go along. Your zip foot, which is very shiny zip foot. You have your overcast foot, so that's like your overlocking stitches. And we also have your blind hem. We've got Mimi Ray's Crafty Corner. You've come up as a recommendation. Well, thank you for joining us. It's lovely to have you. So that's for your blind hem. So we've done some blind hem. If you'd like me to demonstrate that, I can. And another screwdriver so that we can use this now. Somebody asked me, somebody was very upset, I think since last week. I don't know if I mentioned it in last week's show, actually. It might have been then, but it was around that sort of time. She opened a needle plate and the company told her she's voided her warranty. No, that's awful. Oh, not the 12 set, the 24 set. Ooh, very posh. Yeah, so no, you're not going to void it. You're not going to void your warranty just because you've opened it up and cleaned it. If in fact you do that, you're going to give your machine a better life, and the manufacturer will be happy with that because they know you're looking after their machine. So don't be afraid of cleaning your machines. They give you a screwdriver, they give you the a screwdriver to open that so that you can maintain it and look after it yourself. You've got your set of needles in here. Usually, I don't know if you know, but Organ are a company who supply every sewing machine manufacturer a packet of needles with their machine, with the machines. So this is probably, there's a 99% chance that this is an organ needle. They're not my favourites, and the reason is because organ tend to bend. And because they bend, what happens is they tend to skip stitches. They leave needle pin pricks. So if you get needle marks on your needle plate, your needle is bending. I would suggest, recommend that you change to Schmetz. Schmetz I prefer because they snap, and I said this to somebody earlier, when they snap, it's done with. But if they bend, they will, a minor bend will skip your stitches and you won't know because it's so small. And then as it gets bigger, the bend, what it will do is it'll leave needle marks all over your needle plate and scratches. but then it will also scratch the inside of your bobbin case, your black bobbin case, and that becomes it's not an expensive repair or replacement because there are so many out there, but it becomes a frustration that you don't need. So not my favourite brand, but you know, if you're a good person who changes their needle often, you'll be fine. This is for twin needles. I'm not giving you a twin needle, and some companies do. That blue tip, I'm going to say that's going to be for the embroidery machine, embroidery, sort of when you do free motion embroidery. I'm going to move on to, I haven't actually threaded the machine off. I did this last week, didn't I, with the overlock. I didn't actually get to serging anything. Your typical unpicker. You know when people say, what's your favourite stitch ripper? I think these ones are the ones that come with the sewing machine because they're so fine and so sharp. You see how pointy that is? I think these are my favourite. And then these aren't my favourite brushes. They're so tiny. I find these frustrating, to be honest. I just do. And you can use this tip to help you put your needle in, to, you know, when you push it in. But I'm sure there must be a reason for that. I think also when you get fluff in between the feed dogs, you can use that to push it, because sometimes, oh sorry, my hand's in the way. Oh, you can't because I've not lifted it up. Thank you, Myra. You see it up. Okay, so when you're using the screwdriver, I showed you, you've got this screwdriver for the needle bed, and you've got this brush to clean inside, but you can use that tip to push up your needle as you're replacing it, but you can also use that to push away any debris. So when you've taken the needle plate off, you can push that fluff away. Not a lot of you, because you're hardcore fans and you know already that you need to clean your machine, but quite often I get machines in where the feed dogs are just not working, the fabric's not moving, and don't know what's happening. It's simply because there's so much fluff in between the feed dogs that the fluff is sort of become matted at one with the level of feed dogs, and so it can't move. It just can't move. So you just have to guess what she's showing. Yeah, a bit of fun. That's it. It is. I'm never doing it. Okay, let's thread this up like every other machine. Just follow it through. I'm going to check this out. Okay, and then you can do it one-handed and click it. And like magic, it's threaded up. Look how easy that was, and we'll just cut that. Let's flick that open. I need you to be close though, don't I? I need you close. Can you see that? Is that better? Let me see if I can do this. Let me do something a little bit different over that side of the room. Shall I do that again with the needle threader? Because it was really cool. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure, and this will be normal for most machines that have you know, the automatic. So make sure your needle's up at the highest point. So use your needle up down button. Let's get that hook that's above the needle. I'm going to hook that. You can hook it on actually. Yeah. So you can leave that pressed down. It goes all blurry on the camera because my hand's in the way. You can just press that, and it's threaded it. I swear, when I was bad mouthing that needle threader, I knew I was talking rubbish, because look how easy that was. That was amazing. Wasn't that amazing? Let's see. I don't know. I think, okay, so a good question, which I've been told by my son as well, We need to raise some money, guys. We really need to raise some money for this air threader, and I'd be so grateful for some money in the pot, even if it's a couple of quid. I don't like begging. Something interesting has asked, I don't understand how to become a member, and if becoming a member helps to fund your air threader purchase. I think if you go to where the channel is, you can click on there, or actually just underneath where it says say something, there's a $sign. I think you can click on that. But also if you go onto my channel, you can click on the member, or even underneath the video it should say. Christine said you can only become a member on a computer, not laptop or iPad. Oh, is that true? Oh, that's funny, isn't it? I thought you could. Thank you, Christine. Okay, so needle up, needle down. Let's lift that up. And we'll get that through like that. Didn't catch it, did I? Let's catch that. Should we do some stitching? I'll go and get some chiffon and some denim. I left it at the other side of the room. Excuse me a minute. Got to do some climbing because my wires are everywhere. Okay, so here's that rolled hem that I did the other day. How beautiful is that? That is just smashing. It was variegated thread. It was a bulky lock from Gutterman, and but it's you know, it's not the cheapest of threads, I believe, but look how nice it is. So if you do that rolled hem, and you know, if I really pull at it, it's not coming off, and this is fine chiffon, and I just put it through. And literally, it takes me minutes to make those videos because I run it through. I don't practice. I don't even plan. I don't even practice. And it's something I seem to just throw together and think, oh, I'll show somebody how to do roll hem, because it was mentioned to me. And I thought, oh, let's do a roll hem today. So if you have any of you done? Oh, thanks, Will. Have any of you done? Done the rolled hem from that video? Who did that? Who did that? Did your name come up? I didn't see your name. Something happened and I don't know what happened. Yes. FK, impressed with the needle threader. My Genomi's threader is the pits and costs a lot of money to replace, more than that Britannia. Do you know, it wouldn't surprise me. And Will, thank you very much. Yolanda, you're a member, you're green. You can become a member on Android by clicking the join button. Oh, do you know what, you guys? So kind to each other. Okay, we've got 3 new members in today's show. Let's see if we can get more. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to do some sewing. Should we do it that way? Let's get, oh, and I did some embroidery on a different machine, didn't I? On my Genomi. It's difficult to see because of the, what do you call it, the stabilizer on the back. I need to wash it. I should have used a wash away. I used a tear away. Maybe I should have used a wash away. We live and learn. We live and learn. Let's do some stitching on here. I've not pressed it. Just go straight into chiffon, why not? I'm not using the pedal, I'm going to just use the start stop button, and I'm going to change the stitch because at the moment I'm set to using a pattern stitch, which is no good. Let's go to 1. The light's gone green. I'm going to put it on a medium speed. That doesn't sound good. Something's gone a bit awry there. That does not sound good. It's clicking. wonky. That's me holding it wonky. But that looks good. Happy with that. Are you happy with that? What do you think? You can comment. Oh, it didn't cut it properly. Probably because it's a thicker thread. I don't know. We'll do that again. Let's do that again. Can we? Put that foot down. Put that thread. Oh. This is the thing about live. All sorts of things can happen. Isn't that good? Let's do that again. If it clicks again, I'm going to rethread it. I'm not happy with that clicking. Okay, I'm going to rethread it. But hang on, let's go back up to the top. And let's see what happens if I rethread. Because I don't like that clicky sound. This is why you should practice beforehand. But it just means we get to play with the thread ticket lever again. Click it into position. Let's just put some of that thread away. So much. And click. Oh, perfect. Perfect. I'm in heaven. Okay, I'm going to rethread that one. And then, you don't need to pull the thread up, do you? I'm treating it like it's an old worldy machine. I'm going to get my chiffon again. I don't like that noise. I'm going to have to have a look at I'm going to have a look and see what's going on there. Alright, well that's much better anyway. Other than, yeah. So that's much better rethreading it. Should we go on to the 8 layers of denim? Something is clicking, I can see it. Maybe I need to play with it, and maybe it's got knocked in travel. Lift up that extra thrust. So we've got 4 layers there. And what we're going to do is we'll go up to 8. Should we do that? I'm going to do it that way round, so we've not got the seam. And then build up slowly. Is that right? Yes, it'll go up to 8. Keep knocking things over. That was the lock stitch. I've gone quiet because I'm concentrating. I'm wondering why that click's happening. But look at that, not skipped a beat, has it? So we've got our 8 stitches, 8 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. We need to go up to 8. But it's not skipped a beat. So that tension, I've not altered it. I'm using the same needle that's in the machine that I did for the chiffon. I've got beautiful finish at the end. I've got, yeah, they look good to me. I'd be happy with that. And look at that. Brilliant. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm just going to work out why it's clicking. I think something's gone awry somewhere, and it's probably me. It's always me. Let's have a look. What's the other thing I wanted to do? I'm going to show you this. Okay, so let's have a quick look at what. No, it doesn't sound right, does it? Yes. Let's have a look. Apologies, I was just putting dinner out. Looking forward to watching this. I have a brother embroidery machine, singer, sewing machine, overlocker. I'm always up for learning. I agree. We should always learn. Can you adjust the camera a smidge upwards? Yeah, should we do that so you can see the machine in its entirety? Should we do that? I need a tech guru to work with me. I'm going to show you something amazing, right? So Myra has already said you have to get the embroidery machine which attaches to the Britannia. Well, Myra, no, it doesn't sound right. It sounds like the needle is hitting something. The needle's not hitting something. Something's going on here. I don't think that's on properly, so I need to just check that because it's moved. Real life happens also in solving issues. Life is educational. I think you're right, Yolanda. Silka, I'm currently on my Android phone. There is a $ in the far right bottom of the page. If you click it, you can see 3 options. Amazing. Okay. Bent needle. If it was the TL2010Q, I'd say needles, a bit of oil in the bobbin area. Oops, sorry, I have a lag in the broadcast. Okay. So I don't think it is. I think it's that. But so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to play with the machine. But Myra, oh, excuse me. Honestly, this is hopeless. Hopeless. I have to get. I have to work this out. Let's get this going again. Sorry for this. Right, are you there? Oh, she's useless. Right, I'm going to show you something really amazing. Now, with this machine, okay, with this machine, this is moving. Why is this moving everywhere? Sorry, you guys, you could probably feel all queasy. Let me just get rid of it. Let's swap it back to the other tripod because that'll be better. So then we're not moving around too much and it's not too queasy. Here we go. Right, so this is cool. I'm going to switch the machine off. I'm going to remove the extension box and then I'm going to switch the feed dogs out of the way. I need to swap that over, the foot over, because what I have here, and this is the coolest part, so this is the part that I absolutely love. This machine, okay, is a regular sewing machine, but you can buy an attachment which Myra quite rightly has pointed out, which just sits on the edge of, on the end of the sewing bed. It's amazing. So this plug, it's one of those, oh, I've forgotten what it's called now. One of you guys will know. And I don't mean guys as in the men, women will know. I've forgotten what you call them. But it attaches here, so you've got to make sure you get it right. So there's a couple of arrows that you can see. And just make sure those arrows match up. And I'm sure I should read the instructions, but I'm doing it anyway. Change the foot. It came with a foot here, which I've not opened yet. That's how new this is. Okay. So let's get that screwdriver. But I'm not going to play with it because I don't want to damage the machine. So we're going to remove the foot. You will change your threads as well to these embroidery threads that I showed you earlier. Let's have a look. So like these gorgeous variegated threads. And now I've learned my lesson about these as well. With these variegated threads, what you've got to do is practice with them, because if you go straight into a design, something like 3,000 stitches, and then you hate the outcome because they weren't the right colour. They're not the right colour choices, because you can get something like this. Now that looks hideous to me, but when it's stitched out, it actually looks really pretty. So, you know, looking at it on there, it might look crazy, but actually it'll stitch out absolutely beautiful. So there's who's got 24? One of you have got 24. Jeffrey, welcome. No, I do not know. They just sort of appear like magic. So I'm going to put this on. I don't know. I think I get nosy. I look on websites and I see, and people say, you know, they mention brands to me. So I do the thing of, why don't I know about that brand? So do you know what? I think it's going to be one of those awkward feet that I'm going to have to learn how to do in a particular way. Okay, actually it doesn't look too bad. Now this embroidery arm is not in the right place. How amazing is this? But shall I tell you the best thing, Jeffrey? Shall I tell you the best thing about this? It doesn't matter which model you've got, Britannia. So if you bought your model, you bought the 65 rather than the T65, it's transferable. So, you know, that's mind blown, because if your machine goes bust because you've sewn wrongly, like I've been doing, and you bust your machine, your embroidery unit can be used on the replacement machine. How amazing is that? Now, you know, with I'm sorry, Janomi's going to hate me and Brother's going to hate me, because they already do. I'm sure they do. But you know, when you've got machines and they bring out a new machine and they bring out another model, so like Brother brought out a new model and then they bring out another model, and that was rubbish, so they brought out another model. They just suddenly make these obsolete because they're not quite right, or something's happened. And the problem is they change so much about it. I sound like I'm whining now. They change so much about it that these parts are not transferable. The hoops are not transferable. So you might have invested in, oh, this is going to be the best part, another best feature. It's not a tiny hoop. You know, in the manual, right, the manual said it's a 10 by 10 hoop. It's not a 10 by 10 hoop. This is a 20 centimetre by 13 centimetre. Now, if you bought this from any other brand, or any of the other brands, this is going to set you back about £1,300. And then with the price hike, it might be a bit more. I don't know. I can't tell you. One of you guys, you're awesome. You will have a look, won't you, for me, and tell me how much, say, a Brother 800 might cost. But if you're looking at those, they were not long ago £1,200 to buy, and or £1,000 for the 4x4 hoop. The 4x4 hoop is about that big. You've got so much more space, and this attachment is just another 500. I don't think it's quite £500, is it? 469. No, that's not 469. Sorry, that was the other machine. You're paying another. Oh, beg your pardon, I don't know. I thought I wrote it down. But all in all, it will cost you about £1,100, I think, ish. Don't quote me on it. Thread spools look bigger than mine. They might do because they're on camera. Christine, I think they're all the same size. I honestly don't think they're different. I think New Bro Thread do them all the same size. So it might look bigger just because I've put them close to the camera. But I think they're all the same. But isn't that just cool? I just think that's just cool. Just the idea that if I break this machine, I can go and buy a new machine, and I've not wasted the £400. I can just go and spend, you know, go and buy the lesser model. I can buy the lower end model of sewing machine and just spend £400, or what was it, £450, £460 for the lower end model, and attach this embroidery unit to it. So it's all cost me less than £1,000, and I've got a big embroidery machine, embroidery hoop with it. And I was saying, you don't actually need anything bigger than that. I'm going to be honest, I did a little bit of manufacturing. I call it manufacturing, cottage industry, whatever you want to call it, in years ago when I first bought my first machine, because I spent a lot of money on it and I thought I want to make that money back. So I just put on the local Facebook group, I'll embroider Santa stockings, and I made my money back within the month. So, you know, because everybody wants Santa stockings labelled, or school uniforms labelled. I did all my children's school uniforms, just put their names under the embroidery. So we never lost jumpers ever again. Just a discreet, tiny little name. So it didn't go too far from the school uniform. But check with your school. I did, made sure it was okay to do it. And it's so useful for all sorts of things. But for 500, you've not lost your money. Right, should we switch it on? Because you want to see. I think the sound of the thread lever under the upper cover is hitting the cover. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. Do you have a quick and simple way of cutting down men's trousers to convert them into tailor shorts? Yeah, just chop the legs off. Just chop them down. The problem is, though, when you chop trouser legs, because they're usually tapered and shorts sort of open up, shorts go that way, a little bit more open, they're more square, to allow a vent for your thighs. But if you carried on down the leg on trousers, then they sort of cut in at the knee, so they might not be good. So if you can, Jeffrey, open up your seams a little bit as well down the side, or maybe inside. But I would just cut the legs. That's what I do with the boys' trousers when they outgrow them. I used to just cut them and hem them into tailored shorts, and do a blind hem on them if they're tailored, or fold them over and give them a lovely finish. I think the sound is, yeah, I think it is. I think, can you see it's moved a little bit? Christine, I would love to be able to buy the attachment like that for the Janome 4300. Wouldn't it be incredible if all sewing machine manufacturers, and that's the point of this channel. This channel is designed to sort of feed information to you like I want. So the information that I want to know what's out there. I want to know what's the best gadget, what's you know, it's not the newest thing, it's 5 years old. It's been around 5 years. And I'm like, how very dare you be around and I don't know about you? Why are you hiding? So I've made it public now. When I went onto the Create and Craft channel and I saw somebody demonstrating it, they've only got 200 views, so we're going to blow this out of the water. And what I'm going to do is, you know, if you do buy it, will you let me know, please? If any of you do buy it, or if you recommend it to anybody, please do let me know. I would like to know if you've bought yourself one, because if you have, I want to be able to swap notes with you. Promise. Do that. And we'll have a chat. I'm going to switch it on because I've dropped the feed dogs, because when you're doing embroidery, you don't need the feed dogs. I've changed the foot to the embroidery foot because that's what we're doing. You will change the needle to, and you will change it to the 75. Now, I'm not going to change it because this will probably be 99% chance, because it doesn't say in the book. It's an organ needle, which I'm not a big fan of, and it's a blue tip. Janome started that trend with the blue tip, so the blue tip represents a 7511 needle. And apologies if I got that wrong, but that's how I know it. Let's switch it on. I know I am Myra. I'm selling the machine. It's just because my mind was blown when I read about it and learned about it today. Honestly, it was today, because I don't give myself a time at all. Let's switch it on. I don't want to do a repair online because that's just really naughty. You can't do that. But so I'm not going to run it. What I'll do is I'll run it. Stop selling it. So Silka, you've got that same embroidery attachment. That's because it's old. Right, I'll tell you what, let's bring this in a bit closer so you can see the different stitches. And I wrote these down. So if you're thinking about buying an embroidery machine for Christmas, I'm going to play with this machine. I'm going to do some, you know, as a sewing machine and as an embroidery machine. I've got an extension table coming. I'm going to be playing with it as a free motion embroidery machine, because you can do drop the feed dogs. Do you know what I said as well? I think the needle plate looks really boring. It does. It does look boring to me because I'm so used to expensive machines having a lot more interesting things going on the needle plate. And when I talk about it, I mean angles and lines going that way, because when you're doing quilting, you want lines going across that way to help you when you turn a corner, so that you can do you know, you can make sure that your horizontal line is level, because piece work can be quite tricky as it is, and so going slightly wrong on your angle, it does make a difference. So if anybody powers that be are listening, that's why I said that. And also 45 degrees, it does actually and very honestly make a difference to me, at the very least. When I'm sewing, I want a bit more interesting things going on there, and that's it. There's a screw there, and if that screw hole is there, I wonder if that's for a needle guide, is for a seam guide. Again, I'm going to ask about that. I will ask. I question people. I hound them to pieces for information. Right, it's asking me. So I switched it on. It's asking me, have I dropped the feed dogs? I did. I actually did. I'm going to use this so I don't get my finger on it. Is the embroidery machine clear? I'm going to guess that means clear. It's nothing like doing this live, is it? Right, I'm going to guess it's clear, if that's what it's saying. Yes. Ah, it is. It's saying, yeah. Doesn't that sound smooth? Didn't that... I've heard sometimes that clicks. That sounded really nice and clean to me. Myra, you really are going to tell me off, aren't you? We've got designs here and we've got fonts here. I'm going to... Oh! I've done it again. Stop it. Stop doing that. Okay. Can you see that? I've done it again. Let me see. I wrote it down, but I didn't write it down in a good place. I think there are about 150 designs preloaded in there. You've got a carousel horse there and a badge. It looks very Harry Potterish. You've got the USB option as well. They've given you a USB stick. Look at that USB stick. How fancy is that? So if you've got software, which I have, I use Hatch. Now I'm going to promo Hatch here as well. I mean, again, I'm doing this for nothing. If you go onto Hatch, you can try it out for 30 days, and it's one of the nicest and easiest softwares. Janome did MBX version of it, and it was pants because it kept having glitches and problems. So I think what they did was they cut out all the important bits, and Wilcom didn't support them. So Wilcom have their own version, which is Hatch, and their latest one is version 3. It's an embroidery software which you can use on Windows. All machines are PC, aren't they? A personal computer. So it goes on Windows, but I use it on a Mac, and I've installed Parallels, which is free. So this is 4 gigabytes. In the olden days, you could only go up to 2 gigabytes. So if they've supplied you with a 4 gigabyte, that means you can go really big. I think it was something like 36,000 stitches. I did write it all, 35,000 stitches. Okay, so you've got 35,000 stitches, which is a pretty impressive design, and that will take you ages to stitch out. Depends on, I didn't even check how fast this machine stitches, embroidery stitches. That will be interesting to know. So you've got lots of different fonts there. You've got your settings, and you can move the embroidery arm. Should we move that embroidery arm over? Yes, let's do that. Okay. So it's moving it over and out of the way and setting it for me. Okay. Right, okay. I'm going to take that embroidery unit off. Just show you a picture of it. Right. That's what happens when you do it single-handedly. Okay. Let's have a look at the embroidery designs. If I tap on that, it says yes. It's just moving the embroidery arm. And then we've got funny looking designs. Let's go back. That means nothing to me. It's a very simple liquid display, isn't it? Is it LCD, liquid crystal display? So it's 2 colours, but I guess it's a very low budget price, isn't it? But I believe if I get my manual, I can see designs in there. Let's have a look. Oh, there they are. Oh, cool. Okay. So there we go. The patterns. So here are all the. Some of them are a little bit old worldy. Why is it like that? I don't know why that's like that. Okay, so some of them look a little bit old worldy, don't they? Some of them are okay. We've got some nice designs in there. But it's in colour, and it shows you what colours you need, how many stitches there are, how big the design will stitch out. It doesn't tell you how long each stitch will take. Then we've got all the pattern charts, so we've got the different fonts that you can use. I'm not sure how big they are. Just touch them and stitch them out, and you can see you can write whole sayings and sentences, I suppose. So if you want to say handmade by Myra with love, will it be with love, Myra? You can do that. You can do all sorts of things. So you've got all the different settings here, and then lots of support to embroider. So if you wanted embroidery support, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to have to do some, aren't I? I'm going to do some embroidery designs on here. Let me play with the machine. I'm going to ring the shop up tomorrow and ask them what they think is happening. I'll show them. Now, the company, Britannia, they are really good with services, because I did speak to them and I said, you know, if there's something faulty with the machine, what can I do? And they said, yeah, just call us. You don't have to always book it in. You can do a video service with us. And they're actually, because they're sold alongside Dukey, you can go into a Dukey showroom. I think they've got 15 different shops around the UK. I don't know. Yeah, they will be happy to service the machine for you. So I'll ring them up tomorrow. They'll do a video link with me. I'm sure they will, because they're so sweet. The guys there are absolutely gorgeous. Such lovely people. Myra, oh yeah, sorry. I won't sell machine. Silka, I did upgrade to a higher machine of the same brand, and I can still use my embroidery unit, but I could use a 1225 hoop, but my machine has a bigger throat. But I would have to buy a new embroidery unit. Mine can only stitch up to 1320 and 35 stitches. Magali P, what was that? Subscribed. Amazing. Thank you. Can you import other designs? Yes, we've got an embroidery thing. If you go into Hatch embroidery software, Wilcom. Again, I'll put a link in the description. If you go to Hatch, you can go to their software. It's really easy to use. I mean, it's so stupidly easy to use. You just put a design in there if you want to. How easy it is. You can draw a design, take a photo of it, import it into the software, and click auto digitize, and you can then stitch it. Put the let's see where does the USB go. I honestly haven't even learned where the USB stick goes. That's how new this is. I don't know where it goes. I think it goes in at the side. I don't know. We'll work it out. We'll find it out. I'll do a video on it, and I will learn about this machine a bit more. So yes, you can. Jeffrey, thank you. I haven't looked up on the Janome website what is the cost of their embroidery sewing machine, as the Brit is around 1300. So this is around yeah, if you buy the two machines together, that part and that part, it works out about 1100, doesn't it? It's not quite 1100, but the beauty is it's transferable. So if anything happens, now Silka's mentioned that if you do want to buy a bigger hoop, you do have to buy a different size embroidery unit, which I suppose is a bit frustrating. But that's the same thing about, you know, if you want a bigger hoop on, say, a Brother machine or a Janome machine, you would have to buy a bigger machine, which could cost you thousands. I think from the 800E, you are looking at spending on the V3 3,000. So there's nothing in between. You're going from 1,000 jumping up to 3,000. You know, I don't know how much the next unit will be, but if this is costing about 460 or something thereabout, then I can't imagine it being that much more. So the biggest hoop, it only came with this hoop. It would have been nice, actually, I'm going to be honest, if the 10 by 10 was available, for them to give me the 10 by 10 and this 20 by 13. So the 10 by 10 is 4 inches by 4 inches. This is 13 by 20, which is 5 inches by 8 inches. So 5 inches across 8 inches. So it only came with one. Hi Lee, just realised it's you. Yeah, so it's got that size on there. So that's it. That's this machine. I'm afraid I'm not going to embroider on that. I was so excited. I'm really looking forward to doing some embroidery on there. Was there anything else you wanted to ask about that machine before I move on from it? Oh, because again, I'm looking at the time. I've been on forever, haven't I? Just been on forever and forever and ever. What have we got? So we've got lots of new subscribers today. So thank you very much if you subscribed, and thank you very much if you become a member. What I thought I would do with the members is I'm going to, I was going to ask you, so if you're a member, do comment, or you can send, I don't know if you can message, I don't know how you would get in touch, because I'm not that great with YouTube. But I would like to know, maybe I'll put a post out and get some feedback from you and comments. So look out for a community post on YouTube to the members. I'll put comment, look for your comments. But I think on Tuesday might be a good day. I can't promise now, but I'll maybe do a live then, just exclusively for members. And because obviously being a member, you need a little bit of perks. Got to say thank you. And I thought I would go through either doing some overlocking, if you tell me, if you gave me an idea of what you would like, because I haven't got hundreds of members, so we can still keep it within a small, you know, you can choose what you'd like. We could do some overlocking. I could show you some techniques on there. I could do some sewing. I could actually show you how to do a technique if you'd like. Or we could just chat and have fun and games. So do, if you're a member, do look out for the post. I will put a community post up just exclusively for members. If you are not a member now, you will, you know, you'll be very, very welcome. I'm looking forward to having hundreds and hundreds of members. I didn't know where this was going to go, and this is becoming phenomenal. I'm going to continue with putting overlocker videos out. There are still a number of techniques. We've done an outside circle. We did a full circle. We're going to do some outside circles as well. So we'll do some S's. There are going to be some other videos. I'm searching for feet. If any of you have overlocker feet, it would be really good if you can comment in, not in the chat, but actually in the comments. If you comment in the comments about overlocker feet, and if you have any, and if you let me know how you're getting on with them, I would love to know, because I get so many requests about overlocker feet, and I don't actually, I'm just like you guys. I'm looking around just like you for overlocker feet. I don't want to spend hundreds on them. I really don't. because I don't think we need to. I think we can get away with buying generic feet because they're all the same. Let's see, Silka. The embroidery unit is a bit picky with USB sticks though. Sometimes it may be necessary to format it anew and load only one design you want to stitch. Okay, I will look out for that, Silka. That's a really good tip because I know with the Genomes you can only use a 2 GB USB stick on my 350E, the one I've used recently. If I go any bigger, it just doesn't like it. And if the stitch count on the design is too much, it doesn't like it. Do any of you have embroidery machines at all? I think one of you did mention you've got a Brother embroidery machine. If you have, just comment and I can see and I can pick you out. But otherwise, I think this machine is phenomenal. I'm sorry, my mind's just been blown. I'm just going to play with it properly. Once I think that might have just got knocked in the travelling because I've literally just unboxed it not long ago. So it just might be that. But I will, if I can't fix it myself, I think it's just the box might just be undone and just needs re-putting on properly. I do have another machine actually, which I'm going to unbox. Shall I show you what it is? Do any of you want to actually see? Do you want to see what the other machine is? Because I actually haven't seen it either myself yet. Give me a yes, give me a no, say pants, I want to go, and I will let you know if we're going to do it. Anybody there? Have you all gone? I can't say. I can't see if anybody's interested. Go on then, Lee says. Lee, yeah, let's do it. Should we do it? Okay, so I've got this camera in the way, haven't I? If I move that back and then, oh, we can see. I'm so bad at this technology, aren't I? Lee's been such a supporting subscriber to the channel from day one. Honestly, you've always got such a lovely thing to say and you are amazing. Thank you so much. These are my dressmaking scissors and I'm going to do this and horrify you all, and I'm going to do this and not be upset because it's just plastic. And if you think about it, fabric is just plastic. A lot of fabric is just plastic and that doesn't do damage. This is smooth plastic. It's not going to do any damage to my scissors at all. Don't be horrified. Some people get very upset. Okay, so this is an Alfa machine, another machine I've never used. What's going on? These machines are appearing out of nowhere. So I've not used this machine at all, any Alfas. I have serviced Alfa. This is the iBar 1920, I'm guessing. Alfa Practik. It's great. It's the newer model. I need a pair of scissors to cut that open. Let me see. I did have a Stanley knife somewhere, but I'm going to use scissors. But I'm not going to use my dressmaking scissors to open it. Let's have a go. It's been so lovely today. We had a nice cool breeze. And oh, I should show you the kittens. Why are you lopsided? You're lopsided. There we go. That's a little bit less lopsided, I think. Is that better? I think that'll do. See, we need to get better gadgets in here. Get better gadgets. You probably saw all the mess over there. Oh, what have we got in here? We have got a really thick instruction book. Why is it thick? Because it's in 3 different languages in that one, and 4 different languages in that one, and we want that one. So we don't need that book. What have we got here? We have got the quality assurance. So what does it say? Important. Where's the important in English? In English. It's in every language but English. It's a warranty. Alfa undertakes that the 24 months following the date of purchase of the appliance to repair, no charge to you. Yeah, did I say that's 3 years warranty? 3-year warranty. So usually with warranties, if you damage the things like the threader, they won't cover that. You know, and maybe the bobbin case. If you use the bendy needles, again, if you use those needles, the organ brands, they bend, and because they bend, they can cause damage to your machine. So maybe the needle plate might not be covered. So I would definitely recommend, if you're not using Schmetz needles, maybe move over to them. It's just pennies more, but much more reliable. So you've got instructions in here, and you can go through them. You've got your needle threader in here, easy instructions on how to thread it up. But let's put that to the side because I'm going to finish in a minute. We've been on for 2 hours again. I don't know where the time goes. Right, I'm going to need a hand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it out. So we've got a cover here as well, your standard cover. I always think these are really good. You should use them, but you could make your own, couldn't you? Use the template of that one. Make your own. Right. One of the disadvantages of polystyrene is it creates a vacuum inside the box, and because it creates that vacuum, the machine is impossible to get out. So I always end up getting them out upside down. There's a pedal. Let's flip it round. And we've got a grey machine. They don't make it easy, do they? There we go. Oh, now that is a nice looking machine, isn't it? Like that. It feels a bit light. It's not, you know, when you put your weight on it, some machines, I don't know if you've seen in my other videos, if you put your weight on it, it wobbles a little bit. If I take that off, oh yeah, it does. It needs a little bit. What we've got, so it's a front loading machine. You've got your sample stitches in there. There you go. Looks a little bit like, I'm going to say it, a little bit like the necking machines, you know, where they do the samples. I wonder if it's made in the same place. We've got a bag full of accessories, your standard accessories. I'm going to put that back. I'm going to do another unboxing of it. I'll do a video on this machine. But it looks like a bog standard machine, a reasonably priced one. Oh, look at this. How cool is that? Got my stitches up there. Utility stitches. There are JK, so 11 stitches on there, plus your buttonhole. 11 stitches, but then you've got your stretch stitches too. So what's that? 33 stitches plus your buttonhole. Let's turn it around so you can see what it looks like at the back. Quite nice. It's very sleek. Looks very sexy. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say that on a live stream? And let's see, how do we change? There we go. We're going to change the stitches like that. How much is that machine? It's a really popular machine. Really popular machine. How much is that? I know I've got the price written down somewhere. I think it was 300 and something pounds. If I am right, I've got my notes, my scrawled notes. Don't know. We'll have a look. We will investigate. We will learn more. But I have kept you guys, chewed your ears off, and some of you have been so patiently sat there listening to me draw on with a machine that's not working properly. Let me move that out of the way. With a machine that's not functioning properly, don't know why. This is what, you know, I need to prepare earlier. What have we got? Let's see. Okay. Oh, lots of positive responses to me opening it. You were here. So yes, it's a good machine. It's a good looking machine. Don't know whether it's I've got to test them both out. They were delivered, maybe I don't do this again, open boxes live on air, but do you know what? It makes it exciting for you, makes it exciting for me. We should do. So yes, we did it. Thank you so much. Lee, you are amazing. Yeah, it's just super. Something interesting says, I'm watching on my telly usually, so can't typically chat, but have just switched to iPad, but can't wait to see the Alpha. It is a good machine. Lovely looking machine. The overlock foot set. The overlock foot set. Oh yes, if you've got some, yes, if you've got the overlocker foot set with anybody, with any brand of your machine that you've got, let me know. Do you know what? You've just said it reminds you of the faff, Yolanda. That was exactly what went through my head. It just looks just like a faff. Which faff machine are you thinking? I'm changing the wrong camera there. Which faff are you thinking? Because it just does, doesn't it? It just reeks of faff to me. Something interesting likes the, yeah, you like the simplicity of it. Sometimes that's all you want. You just want a simple machine that just has the power, that can do what you want, that performs. And it's lightweight and you can take it to class and it's not costing the earth. If it performs, it's worth its money. If it doesn't perform, it's not worth the, you know, the plastic it was built in. So we need to check it out. We need to work out whether it is good enough for us. Kate loves it. That's brilliant. It does. It looks just so sleek. Lee says, love it, chat all night. Oh my word, I couldn't. I'd bore you to tears. I'd bore you. Just poured a gin thinking it was Friday, lol. It's not Friday. No, it isn't. We'll get the Friday feeling tomorrow. Had a great time and learned a lot. Selka, that was PJ Copage. I'm sorry if I'm saying your names wrong. I do apologise. Silke Abby, as you only load the DST file on the stick, you could theoretically load thousands of designs on it, but the embroidery unit might have trouble reading them. That's right. The technology on these software machines, the software on these machines are very, very limited, because you can see it's not like an iPhone. You're not paying thousands of pounds for the technology, for the SSD or the hard drive, or not a hard drive, SSD. You're not paying thousands for the capacity on there. It's not going to be able to process the USB quick or read it enough. So what will happen is it will read it. It will just take hours and hours and hours to read it. So it is just like Yolanda, was it Yolanda? I'm so sorry, I'm just getting it wrong. Silka said, just as Silka said, when you have an embroidery machine, I don't know if any of you have embroidery machines, but if you find that you put a design in and it's just not loading it, it probably is reading it. It's just taking ages to read it because the file is too big. Either the number of stitches is just too big that the software can't handle it, in which case you probably need to just choose a different design. If you designed it yourself, just change the design on your digitizer. If you have too many designs, because when I was doing the 350E last week, I had one design on there and then I added another one and kept adding one, and it was slower and slower and slower to the point where I just thought, right, delete all the files you've got on there and just put one on there. But yes, okay, you're right. The Passport 3, yes, it does. It does. It looks like the Passport 3. Have a look at it if you don't know what I mean. So impressed with tonight's video. Your presentation has become so professional. Don't sell yourself short. Oh, FK. Oh, FK. That's so sweet. Thank you. Just got a coffee. Lee. I need a strong coffee. Scalmira. What's that? Oh, cheers. Oh, right. Oh, good for you. Copage. I'm going to say it wrong now. because I said it right first time, I said it right. Or passport too. I think it looks, when I looked at it, I have, I'll tell you which one I have. I have the very simple ones. I can't even think what they're called now. But it does, it reeks of faff, doesn't it? It just, everything about it just says faff to me, but it's not, it's alpha. And maybe that's why they chose it. The Alfa Practik is Practik. I want to call it Practik. Practik sounds a bit Mancunian. Practik. Practik sounds a little bit more continental, doesn't it? Continental? European? Who knows? It sounds it sounds sexier than Practik. It's 199. Myra, oh, okay, ladies, you are enjoying your evening, but do you know what? I've not even fed the kids. Not the kids anymore, they're the kids. But they're all waiting for me, and I promised I wouldn't be too late. We've been here for 2 hours. I could chew your ears off all night. I really did have some fun tonight. Do become a member. It will be brilliant to have lots and lots of members. It just supports the channel. It means we can do more. I reinvest what I get from YouTube. I reinvest it, and I just buy more machines. And these machines, they're not just for me, they're for you. It's to help you to find the best machine for you, and to help you your learning and to develop. The other thing I've thought about, actually talking about learning, was on the members channel. If you do become a member, think about becoming a member. If you're thinking about being a teacher, teaching sewing in your community, and why not? Or if you're thinking about selling your products or anything like that, become a member, because I think we'll do some chats about that, and I will give you tips about how I did it, how I got into it all, and how I developed my skills, because I've not gone to college to learn all this. At university I did chemical process engineering with fuel technology, which is a million miles away from sewing. It's just a million miles away from sewing. So fuel technology, so yeah, no, fuel processing. It is nothing to do with sewing. And then I did some maths teaching. So I can do maths. Well, I can't now because my brain's gone a bit frazzled. But yeah, apparently I used to be able to do maths, I'll say. But so all this sewing thing, this has all been, I can't say self-taught, but self-learnt. I've absorbed it from YouTube, I've learned it from people around me, from teaching, the practice of teaching itself. I've learned through teaching, and I can share those skills with you guys. So become members. I will let you have an insight into how to do it for yourselves, how to become successful in yourselves, because you can do really well from it if you do it properly. A lot of people say you can't make money from sewing, but you can if you pitch the right things at craft fairs, because we are really coming into the craft fair season now. We're coming into that time of year where you might be thinking, do you know, prices are high, economy's rubbish, I need some money in my pocket. And don't we all? We all need a little bit of a boost, don't we? Craft fairs are really popular at this time, are becoming more popular towards as we get towards the end of the year. We get more and more people wanting to learn sewing, because maybe young mums are coming out of that home environment because little one's gone to school, or indeed the other way, you know, you might have now found that you've got more time that kids have gone to school. So wow, Christine, you've been and had a shower in all this time. Yeah, okay. Bad mother, I've watched cook dinner and ate it during your demo. Yes, how can you confirm how to become a member? I had a peep on your website, I'm still unsure. If you go into the YouTube and the channel, can I see, actually, can you see it there? So this, oh, this was at Christmas. We had 34,000 subscribers. So I'm trying to head to 35,000. So we were 9,000 less. if you click there, I don't know if you can see the mouse there. If you click on that, you can become a member. You can always click on the pound dollar sign below. I'm not too proud to beg. But I am going to go. I am going to go now. Thank you so much. I absolutely adore you all. You are so wonderful. Amazing support. Thank you so much. Honestly, it means so much to me. I might act like a ditz, but it really does. It makes my day. I look forward to it, and I'm on a high for the rest of the weekend. So thank you very much to absolutely all of you. You are tremendous. Have a lovely evening. Have a lovely weekend. Become a member, subscribe, like, and always comment, because it really does help. It doesn't cost you anything, but it just makes a difference to the channel. Take care, everybody.